Good morning, everybody. It's 6 a.m. It's time for yoga. Thank you for joining me. Today is day 16 of our 30-day yoga challenge. Let's get started. Woo. Start in a standing position today. Let's find our feet. Open the toes up. Drop the feet from heel to toe. Begin opening up the hips here. My hips are really cranky this morning. I don't know about you, but I'm gonna spend some time on these hips this morning. And do some nice, morph that into some hip circles here. And find your balance. Feet hip width apart, hands overhead, reaching tall. Stretch, stretch, stretch. Up on the toes, one at a time. Stretch those toes out. And tiny little back bend. And forward fold all the way down. Begin checking in with that spine. Whoosh. All the way up. And kick those hips out to the left. And the right. And all the way down. Forward fold. Halfway up. Put your hands on your thighs here. See how that lower back's feeling this morning. And drop it down. And all the way back up. Whew. Let's drop it into our chair. So bend the knees and sit down in your chair. And release up. Again, down into chair. And take a tiny twist to the right. Tiny twist to the left. And release all the way up. Forward fold. And to feel the lower back loosening up a little, halfway fold. And all the way back down. All the way back up. Whoosh. Tiny back bend. Through center. Hips out to the left, a little deeper. Through center, hips out to the right. Release all the way down. And all the way back up. Shoulder rolls. Forward and down. Forward and down. In the other direction. Neck rolls. Oh, there we go. We got a crack out of that one. Nice. All the way around. A couple of times each direction. Or a big shoulder roll, hands overhead. Boy, I really cut my head off on the video today. Sorry, guys. Pulse to the right. Headless yogi. Hands overhead. And to the left. And all the way down. Whoa, this time reach the hands out, step the feet back. Down dog. Woo. Hips high, shoulders and chest reaching for the floor. Head with that. Begin checking in with those hamstrings. Really feeling today. Lengthen through the hamstring. Press through the chest. And bring it into plank. Engage the core, hang out here. Pull it back into down dog. Nice and easy. Right back into plank. And put a little movement into it. And back to down dog. One more time. Plank, hang out. You can work the toes here. Hand release. Back to down dog. Drop the knees. Ooh, rock the hands back. And take a seat on the heels. Ooh, check in with those ankles and knees this morning. Ooh. Ah, hands overhead. Nice and tall. Take your tiny little side bend. Just localizing it to the upper chest, upper body. Keeping the feet locked in place. And the hips locked onto the heels. If that's too much, of course, come on up. And take it with your toes curled under. On up. And do your little side bend from here. And release. Fours, cat-cow. A few times each direction. Really get that pelvic tilted. Stretching through the chest, through the abdomen. And really rounding out the spine on the cat portion. Bring the chin into the chest. One more time each direction. And release. Cross the ankles in the back, come down to a seated position. Woo. Easy seat. Let's take our stack here, check in with our hip flexor, nice and gently. Ankles over knees, ankles over knees. You'll get a nice hip stretch on whichever leg is on top. Begin leaning forward just slightly. Deepen that stretch. Breathing deep into the belly. And release, take the other direction, the other leg on top. Ankles over knees. Ooh. Feel the difference between the two hips. Begin leaning forward, working through that tightness in the hip. Just take notes. Nice deep breaths into the belly here. And release. Whew. Bring the legs right in front. Let's equalize those, and then we're just going to go right into our butterfly, soles of the feet together. Check where the inner thighs are this morning. Grab your blocks if you like. And those feet. Bringing the chest through. Feel how the lower back is responding this morning. A few deep breaths here. And release. And take the left foot and go into our deer pose here. So it's a little rotation the other direction with the hip on one side. In this position, we can take a nice side bend to the left over the bent back leg. We can also twist and take a bend this direction. That feels good too. It feels good on the side body. We can also lay down over one of the knees this direction. Deep breaths into the belly. Whew. And now we can reach back and grab our foot and rotate that leg even more and bring it up for a nice quad stretch. You can use your right hand for support here. You need a block, of course you can use a block here too. Breathe deep into the belly. And release. Unwind, come back to the center position. It's kind of our neutral here with the two ends being the deer pose. Let's get our inner arches here today. Manipulate those toes, those going in the other directions. And let's take that right leg out. The other direction for deer pose here. Let's take our tiny side bend toward the right leg. And over toward the left. And take a nice lean in, a little bit of a forward fold here. Over the easy leg. Can bring the block in here. This is a good pose to just rest in and relax here. Stretching the quad on this side, a little bit of the hip on the other. And we're ready to grab our foot in the back here. And rotate that leg just a little bit more. Nice stretch to the quad. Yep. A few deep breaths here. Concentrate on relaxing that inner part of the hip. And release. Unwind very gently. And get back to our butterfly here. Ooh, look. Inner thighs, so much more flexible now. Bring the feet in as far as you can. Pressing out over the feet. Bring the chest over the feet. Bending from the hip. Nice straight spine. Two more breaths here. And release. Cross the ankles, come back to all fours. I'm gonna take that left leg out and left arm up. Stretch, stretch, stretch. Release. Right leg out, right arm up. And release. Cat cow, cat cow. Cat cow it out. And cross the ankles in the back and come all the way down onto your back. Whew. Let's roll around, rock it back and forth. Nice back massage, free back massage. And the variation on this, of course, you can bring the feet up, open the legs up for happy baby. Drive the knees down toward the side as you're rocking back and forth. That feels really good. And release. Feet to the floor. Take the knees to the right. Again, we're working with that internal rotation of the hip. And the other direction. Quad. And release. Grab a block. Roll the shoulders under and pop up into bridge. Use a block to help support. And we'll take the left leg out and up. And take the leg out. A few times the other direction. And then right leg out. Up. Pressing through the block for support. And the heel on the other foot. And take the right leg out. A little different direction. See what happens with your hips. See if you can keep your hips stabilized on the block. And release. Ooh, the heels back a little closer to the block and grab the heels. Lift up just a little higher. And release. Walk the feet back out, drop the block, roll the back down one vertebrae at a time. Ooh, take the left leg long and the right leg bent. And let's grab that right knee and twist. Right arm extended, gaze to the right. And release. Ooh. Rock it back and forth. We can do happy baby again here in the center before we do the other side with the twist. Even out the lower back. Release. Right leg goes long. Left leg comes across. Use the hand today to help guide that thigh. Get a deeper stretch, left hand out, gaze to the left. And just feel how different those sides are, each side. Breathing deep into the belly. And release. Breathing it out. Let's grab those knees, rock and roll. Release the legs, drop the knees open. Butterfly, laying down butterfly. You can grab your strap if you like to help you in this position. Keep the knees down. Grab your feet, pull with the strap, or just let the legs fall open. About 5 breaths here. Hands overhead or on the chest. If this begins to be too much for the hips, bring one leg neutral. Grab that strap and show you. Deepen the stretch here. Relax that lower back. Just like a tree pose, but laying down without the balancing part. Ooh, I find I'm keeping a lot of tension in my lower back. And release. Let's do the other side. Lasso that foot. That's a nice deep stretch. And release. Ooh. Knees side to side one more time. And let's take the legs nice and long. Stretch the arms out overhead. Stretch, stretch, stretch. And get your hands somewhere comfortable. You can even lay them under your head, on your chest, right next to you. Let's do some flexing points. And then relax, let all the tension go out of your body. And a few deep breaths here. Close your eyes. Take about 15 breaths here in silence. Make sure your back is nice and equalized on the floor. All connecting to the mat. Think about everything and nothing all at the same time. Deep breaths into the belly. Begin wiggling the fingers and toes, waking the body back up. Woo. And bring the knees up and roll them to the side. Coming on up to an easy seat. Shoulder roll up and back and forward and down. Forward and down. And thank you for joining me for day 16 of the 30-day yoga challenge. See you tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. and a great day, everybody.